to the Racing Matters podcast with Ron Robinson and Sean Trevette.
Afternoon, Sean. Another edition of the Racing Matters podcast. Welcome. And welcome listeners and viewers and whoever else wants to be welcome.
Share it, listen in.
Yeah.
Take the mickey, whatever.
Well, it's like I put on Facebook. If you like it, share it and get everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you think we're a pair of idiots, tell everybody, listen to this pair of idiots and subscribe to their channel.
Wow.
It reminds me of Colonel Parker and Elvis Presley when he was first starting out and he was promoting him. And what he did was he had millions of badges made up with I love Elvis written on them. And he had millions of badges with I hate Elvis written on them. And they were all selling like hotcakes. So Elvis couldn't lose. Good old Colonel Parker.
Superb marketing, that's for sure.
I tell you what, yeah.
Well, we've got quite a lot to talk about this week, surprisingly.
We have an all, yeah.
And there's new stuff that's come up that's going to have to go into next week because it's just, in this sport, it's never ending. It just keeps rolling on, doesn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
But I want to start, everybody knows who's listened to this or read any of my work that I'm a big believer in international racing as well. It's, there isn't just the UK. It does exist other places, funnily enough. And last week we discussed the 2,000 guineas and the 1,000 guineas, and I wanted to start this week with the French equivalents.
Yeah.
You're the boss. You can start. What did you think of them?
Well, I liken them to chalk and cheese, really. I mean, not least because of the ground. Because it was like a bog over there, wasn't it?
It was. It rained all day.
And it was pretty rapid at Newmarket. Although it does look like Graffard's got another really good one on his hands in Raif. He easily reversed the form with Puerto Rico from their juvenile days. You can't say the ground was a problem for the Coolmore horse because it was very soft back in October. Raif was nearly 4 lengths behind him when they went. And he seemingly, he's improved from 2 to 3, and Puerto Rico hasn't. And this is something we say every week about 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds training on and what have you. Diamond Necklace. Now, that was my horse to follow this season. How impressive was she in the French 1000? 16-1 into 5-1 for the Oaks. But I think me and you both agree. We think she'll carry on going over to France. I've looked at the odds again since. She's out to 9-1 for the Oaks now.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Prix de Diane will be the race she goes for. I would look forward to Bo Echo taking on Raif, but will they ever meet if the ground's not good for one and slow for the other? I don't know. I've thought all along that Diamond Necklace is the best filly that Coolmore have got, but she's more likely to go middle distance, whereas the True Love that won our edition will stay at a mile. So they'll never meet. You can't see True Love stay at a mile and a half. But you see Diamond Necklace doing that all day. And 1 mile too, I think she'll be unbeatable over 10 furlongs. Yes, it's chalk and cheese. I can't really compare them. I'd like to see them take each other on. And I do think Bo Echo's a bit special and that he'd beat Raif.
Well, I've started off mine by saying Francis-Henri Graffard.
Brilliant.
Is a new, relatively new kid on the block.
Yeah.
You can't say he's taken over from the likes of Andre Fabre and the old guard, but he's up there and heading in that direction. It's based at Chantilly, which isn't a bad place to be. I can tell you, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And he's happy to talk to the press, and he's very self-effacing. He's not full of himself. I could name the trainers that are. He's not. He's got a good horse there. I don't think his knee action is that high that he needs cutting the ground. The trouble, you look at French form, it's nearly always run on soft ground. They don't have a choice.
Oh, no, they got no choice.
So you look at a French trained horse and you go, oh, look, he's won 4 times, but they're all on soft ground, so he won't handle good ground.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a chance to run on it, so you don't know. I do wonder whether I don't think he'd have the speed on good to fast ground to cope with Bo Echo at Ascot.
No, nor do I.
And I think on breeding, I can see him being better over a mile and a quarter anyway. So maybe Coral Eclipse, Juddmonte, something like that. We'll see what happens. As for the fillies, and that's the beautiful thing, we split ours out into 2 separate days because we think it's funny to do for our 1,000 and 2,000 guineas, but they put them 35.
They run them on the same day. Yeah.
35 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Diamond Necklace, I think she was the best filly in Europe last year. I think the rating said she was. We might have thought she was, but I think the rating said she was, but I'm not crystal clear on that. Rides unbeaten, did it impressively, didn't she?
I thought so. Yeah. And they reckon she'll be better on quicker ground.
They say that because I think I'm always wary of the Coolmore marketing machine. I could be wrong. It was, as I say every week, it wouldn't be the first time. But the fact that, you're going to get soft ground in France.
Yeah.
Invariably, you're going to get soft ground in France. The fact they sent her there as a 2-year-old suggests they thought she'd, at the very least, handle, if not improve on soft ground. The fact they sent her there instead of to Newmarket suggests that they think she needs cutting the ground.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my own personal view. She'll get it in Ireland, probably. I mean,
she will do, yeah.
The weather's very strange in the last few years, so anything's possible.
Honestly.
Even Bath had a race meeting the other day without the word firm in the title, which was a miracle. Yeah, I think she'll get the Prix Diane, which is the French Oaks over a mile and a quarter, and she'll leave the others from Ballydoyle to head to Epsom. That would be my opinion. But I think they're good horses. I think we're naive to look and go, yeah, but it was soft ground. Yeah, but it was heavy ground. That's what they have to run on. You can't tell me the Aga Khan hasn't sent horses over here and won on good to firm ground as well. Their breeding operation isn't set up around soft ground. It's set about the best horses. We'd all like to see each other, them take each other on, but unfortunately there's so much money at stud value and as a broodmare, etc., that they'll attempt to avoid each other if they can.
This is true.
Diamond Necklace can keep her unbeaten record would be the target, surely.
Yeah, wouldn't you think so, again, for the breeding paddocks?
Yeah. But I think they were both good races. And as you said, Diamond Necklace is your horse to follow. And
good start.
Off to a flying start. What else can you say? Yeah. For our next subject, I've written down here, I was feeling a bit mischievous. Because this is one that we could both argue about forever and a day. And so anybody else who's out there could join in the argument and we'd all disagree or agree or whatever it may be. Where does Ryan Moore sit in the list of all-time flat jockeys in the United Kingdom and Ireland? I had that in because don't want to add in Gary Stevens or Money Mike Smith or anything like that. That's an unfair thing to do, and we can't really share them. So I'm going to leave you to start on that one. And having thrown the grenade into the swimming pool, I shall let you start with your opinions.
Thank you very much indeed. When I was younger, I used to love doing comparisons. Was Roger Hunt better than Dixie Dean and things like that? You know what I mean? No. But as I've matured or got older, for want of a better description, I've come to agree with people I used to listen to, used to say, you can't really compare them. I used to compare horses, centre forwards, jockeys, snooker players. And like I say, as I've got older, I've realised it's basically impossible to tell. Dixie Dean scored 1 million goals in a season. And half of them with his head. He wasn't heading a football, he was heading a boulder.
Yeah.
But now they'd be a lot fitter, a lot faster. And even a centre-back as slow as Virgil van Dijk is now would cope with Dixie Dean. You would think he would. Each of them are brilliant in their times. Ryan Moore better than Lester Piggott? Impossible to say. Fitness, diet, the horses he'd been able to ride, that type of thing. Ryan Moore now doesn't have to ride as much as Lester Piggott would to make the same kind of money. I used to love saying it was better in the old days. It was in many ways, not least the racing itself, because we had less of it. And we weren't being driven by the greed of a few at the expense of the many. But as to where I'd put Ryan Moore, right up there. I think he's got brilliant hands. His tactical awareness is stunning. He knows exactly where to put a horse. And he will, by all accounts, I've never heard him discuss a race with Aidan O'Brien, but when they're head-to-head and talking about what a horse has just done, Ryan Moore is able to tell him exactly what race to go for, exactly what trip to run him over. He's just a perfect horseman. There's no other way of putting it. I don't think there's anybody rides Ascot better than him now. And Frankie at his best would have had a job to keep up with Ryan Moore. I'm looking forward to Royal Ascot because all I'll say is just back Ryan Moore. Well, no, I won't. I'll do proper profiling as well. I think Piggott was around in an era when there was as many good jockeys. In fact, probably more good jockeys than there are today. I look at some of these people riding horses now and you think to yourself, what are you doing on the back of a racehorse? They can't race ride for toffee. They get themselves blocked in. Now, whether they've been given instructions to say, today's not the day, but they make it look so obvious. Do you know? It's like I seen a horse, I think it was Beverley in midweek. And I know that next time is the time for that horse because the jockey made sure he never got the gap. dropped back to last, came round horses, ran past about 3 or 4 in the last 100 yards. I actually mentioned it in a newsletter. So hopefully everybody that got that newsletter's got it in their trackers. But Piggott was around that likes of Scobie Breesley, Ron Hutchinson, Jeff Lewis, etc., etc. I don't see that many challenges to Ryan Moore these days. If he wanted to be champion jockey, he'd do it in a heartbeat. He really would.
I mean, I think that I'm not going to make a comparison either and say X is better than Y. I think if you don't have Ryan Moore in your list of top 10 at the very least of all time,
Yeah,
then I think you've made a mistake personally.
just a bit.
As you said, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, was Michael Schumacher the greatest racing car driver of all time? Or was the Ferrari the greatest car of all time and he just had to drive it?
That's it.
Totally unfair on Michael Schumacher. There's more skill involved than I think any of us take
It
into
is.
account.
Yeah.
But, he would probably beat me if he's driving a Morris Minor, to be
He
fair.
probably would.
Like you say, you're comparing horses years by years. Ryan gets to ride for Coolmore and sorry, for Ballydor, Coolmore, Aidan O'Brien, whatever combination you want to call it.
Yeah.
So he is riding some of the best bred horses and consequently some of the best horses as well. But as you say, I agree, Fred Archer has to get into the conversation.
Well, doesn't he just? Yeah.
Joe Mercer, I put down, Pat Eddery, Steve Coulthon, Willie
Yeah.
Thompson, Frank
Steve
King.
Coulthon. I think he's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think the thing we need to do, the only reason I did it was to be an awkward sod because that's who I am.
Yeah. Well, we needed a goodwill topic in here, didn't we?
It's a good
A bit away from the humdrum and the noise.
and a reminder that we are lucky enough at this moment in time to be watching horse racing on the TV in the background with one of the greatest jockeys of all time still
Yeah.
riding. And in our case, we've been lucky enough to see Lester Piggott. We've been lucky, I've been lucky enough to see Pat quite often, Stevie Coulthon, etc., etc. Didn't see Fred Archer, didn't see Jeff Lewis personally, etc., etc. Harry Ragg, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
He was around, but not as a jockey in my time. So I'm sure different generations will go, he was best, he was
He was
best.
better. Everybody will always say Arkle was the best steeplechaser ever.
Yeah.
But you'll never know.
Of course not. And as
You'll never know.
with all the footballers, the footballers used to come off and have a pie and a pint at half time and smoke 4 fags before they came back on again. But again, I'm not going to pick on Dixie Dean just because he's an Evertonian and so am I. But who knows, would he have been better or worse if he had been around today and he'd had that fitness advantage?
Yeah, if he had the fitness levels,
who
the
knows?
diet.
We'll never know, and I appreciate that. I thought it's just an opportunity to get people to think about it, for something for them to think about for themselves. Email in if they want to email in with their opinion.
And give us your opinions. Yeah.
You've got to tell us why. You can't just go, I like Joe Mercer. You've got to tell us why Joe was the best or whatever it may be. And as a reminder that here we are, lucky us, getting to live the dream with these people day in, day out, be it on TV or at the racetrack.
The difference between the horse and the jockey is you can have official figures for the horse.
Yeah.
And you can make a comparison that way. There's nothing you can do about the man on the top or the woman. You know?
Or the trainer.
Or the trainer. No.
Yeah, horses, there are certain trainers who improve horses. But I remember reading Paul Cole's book about Generous years ago. So everyone said how wonderful I was to have a Derby winner. He said, I wonder how many potential Derby winners I had that I didn't train right. Or worse to that effect. You never know. But
You'll never know.
It's a bit of fun for everyone to ever think about if they can be bothered. Now we get back to slightly more negative news again, I'm afraid. My friend James Noyes resigning. Now, I'll take the lead on this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, you carry on. Yeah.
James Noyes resigned from the Gambling Act Review Evaluation Advisory Group. There's a mouthful for you. He is a highly thought of government advisor. I've met him a couple of times. We had a round table with him. He was renowned to start with as being vehemently anti-gambling. That was the view we were all given. And then I'm not going to claim credit, so I don't suppose it was down to me, more like the BHA, but he sort of saw the light. Not as in, yes, we should all go and risk as much money as we want and that's the way it goes, but as in, people do have a right to gamble. People do enjoy gambling. Sensible, within your means is probably the phrase I would use. And he's come out against affordability checks, which came as a surprise. He's been out against them for a while now because he doesn't think they work. If the idea is to protect punters, then driving them to somewhere with even less protection in the black market doesn't seem the most sensible route to take. Now, He's resigned from this advisory group, which is that's quite a big thing in racing politics for him to do so. And I believe one of the phrases he just doesn't like. He's not the new affordability checks haven't been properly tested. They haven't been put out in the public domain to see. And I believe, I'm not sure if this was his view or just the overall view, that the government should see them and check them all out before they give the go ahead. Whereas it appears the Gambling Commission is just going to go, yeah, we've done it now, everybody. Thumbs up as of Monday. You might have read some different stuff to me, so that's always quite interesting to see, because I give you the project, you have a look. So.
What I read, I'd had a look to see who this James Noyes was, because I didn't know of him or know him at all. I've never met him. And he's a gambling expert.
He's sharp.
Now, they invited him to join this advisory group. And now you're saying to yourself, well, if they're not going to listen to the man, why did they bother inviting him into the group in the first place at all? It's all this affordability check thing. It's always seemed like a done deal to me. The bookmakers were on it like a fly onto what's it, and they've been setting them up for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
Maybe 3 years now.
Yeah.
It feels like that. And I was trying to create an account with Sporting Life just so I could read their news items.
Yeah.
But before it would let me register my account, it said, please have your passport details to hand.
Really?
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to have a bet. I just want to read your news stories. Maybe use your tracker, that type of thing. Because I've got loads in my other trackers. But I said, no, I won't do that. Why does the Sporting Life need my passport details to allow me to read the news stories on their website? It isn't going to happen. So I'll go without, thank you very much indeed. But it's like you've just said, people will think like that, especially when they're being asked for their mortgage payments and bank statements, just to have a bet on a horse race. I wouldn't do it. I'm lucky enough that I've had all my accounts for years now. Some of them I can't use because I'm being limited to a shilling each way or something stupid like that. But there's no way I would give anybody my bank account details and my credit card details other than to place a bet. Well, you can't place a bet on a credit card, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're not getting those details. So if I can go somewhere else and have a bet where I don't have to do that, then that's what I will probably do.
It's a bit of a scary thought. I mean, I haven't been asked for any of this information yet. It's only a matter of time. The concept was it was going to be frictionless. That's what the Conservative government at the time said, it had to be frictionless, and the Labour government that's inherited it have continued along that stance. It's not frictionless if you have to provide your passport.
It's not. No, not at all.
Your bank details or your last 3 payslips or whatever it may be. Now, the idea was that they used these credit ratings, which I can't pretend I understand. So if your credit rating was high enough, you could bet X. If it's lower than that, you could bet Y. If it was lower than that, you couldn't bet at all. Now, that makes good sense to me, as I said before. If you're behind with your mortgage payments, haven't paid your credit card off, and there's a bailiff coming around to take your settee away on Monday,
yeah,
then it is protecting you to not let you have a £50 bet to try and get out of jail.
Of course it is.
I'll sort of side with that. People do need protection. People can't all protect themselves, and that's not an insult. It's just how the world is. Those credit checks are turning up different figures for different people. Now, that's fine if it's out of 1,000, because I'm making this up because I don't know. If mine's 900 with one and 904 with the other, don't suppose that's going to make the blindest bit of difference. But if 500 is the cutoff, I've zoomed in and out again. If 500 is the cutoff for when you can and can't, what if one has you as 4501 and the other one has you as 499?
Yeah, I know.
What happens then? Now, to me, I don't understand the complications, but the Gambling Commission needed to either sort that out so that they did tally and find out why they weren't tallying and get it sorted with the credit companies or credit reference companies. Alternatively, define which one they were going to go with. Because if you go with one, and I don't have shares in any of them, I might add, so I'm certainly not going to name any because I can't. If you went with one and that one had you below 500, you weren't allowed, and it had you above 500, you were allowed, making up numbers before anyone phones in and has a go at me, that would work. But I've written down here, the Gambling Commission is like a runaway unelected train that needs steering by somebody, or preferably stopping in its tracks, while the government, who seems to just be leaving them to their own devices, are an unelected body who are doing whatever they like. That's how it feels.
That is how it feels.
And that's the issue. It's how it feels. I know a couple of people at the Gambling Commission, unsurprisingly, and I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't being directed by the government, who are then keeping stum. So the Gambling Commission takes all the
All the
flack.
flack.
It took me a while to think of a polite word there.
Flack'll do.
Flack, to take all the flack. That would not surprise me at all,
Yeah.
knowing politicians in general.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the bottom line is, when you've got someone as important as James Noyes, who's as respected as he is, whether you agree with him or not, is irrelevant. He's highly respected. Sharp as a tack. You'd fall over yourself trying to challenge him or question him on absolutely anything. He's really, really good. And yet he's willing to walk away from this, having been invited onto it.
Yeah.
Says a lot about the state it's in at the moment.
It does, doesn't it?
And that will do, because that's our negative for the week. Well, apart from my tips, obviously they count as negative for the week. I wrote down here, last week we covered the Chester trials.
Yeah.
Just in brief. And I thought, well, it's a bit unfair for us not to cover the Lingfield trials and then cover the Chester trials as well. Again, in brief, because most people will assume the results or watched it.
Yeah.
You might as well run through them all. What did you make of the Lingfield trials and the York trials? And then I'll chuck my tuppence in.
Well, I've not seen anything for either Constitution River or Amelia Earhart to be afraid of, and I think the Chester trials look far superior to anything I've seen at Lingfield and York. Yesterday's Dante winner, Item, they've now made it 5-1 second favourite after it beat a Coolmore horse called Action by just under 3 lengths. And that horse is 33-1 for the Derby. Now, Item, he'd only won a little Class 4 at Bath, beating 3 other horses before he won that race yesterday. Sure, he's unbeaten in 3 races, but he won the Dante off 93. Constitution River won at Chester off 112. And yet Constitution River's 6-1. And it's like these 3-year-old races have you scratching your heads from the first time you start looking at them. It's like when we were discussing the racing at Lingfield, and I said, you've got X who's rated higher than Y, but Y is shorter in the betting, and blah, blah, blah. And it was just so topsy-turvy. It worked out that way. The horses that were lower rated at 2 years of age are coming through and comfortably beating the horses that are now rated superior to them. I'll be discussing that again when we're chatting one of the races later. I think Coolmore wins the Derby, irrespective of the trials that we've held. And it's just a case of working out which one they're going to win it with. I wouldn't rule Action out, once he stepped up to 1.5 miles. I can't see why Item is 5-1 second favourite and that horse is 33-1. I really can't. If they both turn up at Epsom, if there's only 3 lengths between them, there's not that price differential. There's just not. I'd rather have the 6-1 about Constitution River than 9-4 Benvenuto Cellini. I think Constitution River's a very good horse, I never really. I looked at the trials at York so far. I've been unhappy with York all week, to be honest with you. I've not had a bet there.
Right.
I won't bet there this week because there's something really spooky with the ground. I don't know what they're doing. First day, and I discussed this with you, saying that stalls 1-4 were basically certainties based on what I'd heard on Racing TV with their statsman. 72% of the races were won from stalls 1-4. And the 2 sprint races on day 1 were won by horses drawn 1-4. Now, I said in the newsletter the next day that they are going to do some remedial work there, without a doubt, to stop that happening on day 2. Don't bet there. And sure enough, the 3 sprint races were won by horses drawn in double figures. You had one winning from stall 18 or 19 that never left his line. So they've done something to the track to stop low horses from winning the sprint tracks. Now, if that means that if even in a distance race, horses are going to be inconvenienced coming up that rail, you're not going to bet there. So what's the form actually worth? I'll just take Chester form all week, all day, and I'm just going to totally ignore what's happened at Lingfield and Bath. Bath. York. I'd always ignore what happens at Bath.
You're having an early back for that one. Yeah, I can't say it particularly inspired me either,
No.
to be honest with you. I tipped Item yesterday, so I was quite pleased he won. I think he won it well. I think there's a lot of improvement to come from him. I agree.
Yeah.
Constitution River seems unlikely to head to Epsom at the moment.
You think?
Why would he be second favourite? And if you look at the times he clocked winning his well, I think they're the fastest this century, and the splits are the fastest this century. Something like I don't really follow times in detail, as I say every week, but very impressive from what everyone's telling me. He looks the better of the O'Brien horses, and yet he's not the shorter price. So that you have to wonder
Yeah,
why that is. Lingfield, at the end of the day, they've dropped him to listed races now. There is a reason to run a good horse there because it's so similar to Epsom. But it appears that in recent years, people just aren't bothering. It's as simple as that. Legacy Link, she won the Musadora.
yeah,
Pretty impressive. She travelled really well. And then when she was challenged, she battled on. I mean, that's a potent combination. When you've got a horse who can travel quick enough
yeah.
and likes a fight,
And likes a fight. Yeah, yeah.
then you've got a decent filly there. She's 4-1 for the Oaks now. That item was 33-1 for the Derby before the race and 5-1 now. So that's a massive hit for me because I was clever enough to make notes in advance. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't put anyone off Legacy Link to win the Oaks, as in finding the winner. Whether she should be a 4-1 shot is a totally separate question. I suspect she might be bigger come the day, really. And as for the Dante, yeah, Item might well go to the Derby, but I'm not even convinced. I'm not convinced yet. It wasn't the better of the trials, was it? It was historically.
Well, no, not by a long shot. As I say, I thought Constitution Rivers win at Chester was far more impressive
Yeah,
than that.
I think so.
And there's such a differential in the official ratings. I think, like you've just said, it's the diamond necklace situation, 9-1 for the Oaks. You're thinking it's not going to go there. And like you say, Constitution River should be shorter than Benvenuto Cellini, really, based on what we've seen. But he's not.
And then,
So it looks like they're stacking the cards basically for Amelia Earhart to go and win the Oaks and Benvenuto Cellini to go and win the Derby.
yeah.
I can't see anything from outside that yard winning either of those races.
Yeah, the only thing that surprises me, if Constitution River clocked the times that people are telling me clocked, then you don't run fast times on soft ground. It's just simple as that. It's mathematically impossible. Why would if you assume Cellini, because I can't even be bothered pronouncing the first name, is going to go to Epsom,
An
then
arty bloke.
that implies Constitution River will go to the Irish Derby. But it's far more likely to have soft ground there. Surely you send the quicker horse to Epsom, where there's a more likelihood of the quicker ground that he clearly acts on, and it clearly suits him, and then go the other way round to the way the betting implies, basically. But we shall see. Before we get on to the racing, this is the bit where I make Ron do 30 seconds of marketing.
Oh.
Ron, sell 'em post-racing.
Well, I tell you what, this new system trial I've been telling you about, it's going really well, I mean, we're in profit for May, we were in profit for April just, and we were in profit for March by nearly 20 points. It's a bit up and down because that's betting and that's gambling. The way to get hold of these horses, and I've done this specifically because what post-racing is about, it's information. Now, I give you advice on every single race, every single day, in what I call the Prof's Top 3. What that is achieving is a 60% strike rate of every single race. You Dutch every single race, every single day, and you'll get 6 out of every 10 winners. And if you can't make a profit doing that, you don't know what you're doing, and just stick to what I'm doing with the new system trial. You've got to employ variable staking and all the rest of it, but it's all on the website. And if anybody's got any questions about variable staking, get in touch with me. But all you need to do is go to www.postracing.co.uk. You'll see the subscription link in the main menu. Click on that. There's lots of packages. If you're only interested in betting of a weekend and betting for fun, that's the package you want. If you are interested in making a passive income, a passive second income from working with the work that I put up on a daily basis, sign up for the works. What you get for that is just unbelievable. And if it becomes overwhelming, get in touch with me. And I do tell people how to use it, especially when they're looking at my pen and paper ratings. I employ something called the scribblings. And I basically narrow the race down to 2, 3 or 4 horses. And you invariably find you'll make 30, 40, 50% profit. You put your money in the bank, put £10 in the bank and then go and withdraw it straight away. They'll give you 10 quid. You go and Dutch your tenner on some of these races, you'll be coming away with £14 3 minutes later. I think I mentioned this before. I once got written about, this is going back about 15, 20 years. An investment magazine took a look at what I was doing. And at that particular moment in time, using my work was more profitable than gold and oil.
Wow.
I know. That is just bizarre, isn't it? And since then, we've had Aztec Gold use my work to create a profit of 41,000 quid in 2 years. Starting with a £1,000 bank, they never had to top the bank up. So it does work. It all depends on you. If you haven't got the mentality for it, don't even think about trying it. Just sign up, use the new system trial, make your 20 points a month, be happy with that.
And you meant to give you the website address, but never mind.
Oh, I
Well,
did that.
yeah, but only that. What you might,
Sorry.
that's all right. What you might do is just really briefly. I know there's different packages for different people. What's the cheapest package people can get if they've never heard of you before? Don't believe a word you just said. What's the cheap package?
£5 a week.
Yeah,
Like, that gets you the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and also bank holiday Mondays.
right. I wanted to get
So it's a pretty good deal.
yeah, don't disagree with it at all. But my point was that people can listen to what you said about this, that, and the other, all of which is true, by the way, I might add. All of which is good, and go, wow, this is going to be really expensive. I can't afford that. So it's worth chucking in at the bottom line that it's not that expensive to sign up to start with.
But
And
the
then
thing is, you see, I don't do this to make a living from people buying a package, because we do loads of stuff with that, like prizes and sending people to the races and buying tickets for Cheltenham as prizes and that type of thing. And I pay for the websites, and there's so much to be paid for that there's very little left at the end of the day for anything else. And don't forget, we also give money to the 4 racing charities from those subscriptions as well. That's great, but they care for retired racehorses. You've got the Injured Jockeys Fund, Racing Welfare, and the Bob Champion Cancer Trust. Now, they all benefit from the fact that we've got people prepared to pay £5 a week or £35 a month to be a member of Post Racing, and all those charities benefit, and the members benefit as well. I'm not going to go into what we've done for the members as well, because that's not what I'm here to do. It's we've done loads for everybody, because it's what it's all about. It's not about me making a living and driving a Rolls Royce, and I live in a 3-bedroom end terrace.
good for you.
That's it.
All you got
I'm
to
happy.
do, just need to add another charity in the Retired Racehorse Journalists Association so that I get a few quid out of it that way. Worth it. We'll move on from there to Saturday's racing. I've got something I'm going to want to add,
Oh, yeah.
but you're already going to be bored to tears.
Now, if you make a profit, make a donation to a charity.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
That's always good. Always good. And one means that as well. He's up on his
I
charities.
do. Absolutely, I do, yeah.
Talking of charities, I'm going to be giving some of my money to the bookmakers this weekend. It was thinking like last weekend, but we'll go through the races anyway. We're going to start off. It's all Newbury, isn't it, this week, I think?
It's all Newbury. My favourite racetrack.
One of mine too. 25 at Newbury. I'm confident we're going to differ on this one, but I'll let you go first.
Well, we probably will if you don't fancy the favourites. We've only got 5 going to post, and it looks like it's Calpana's for the taking. He's match fit following an absence of 210 days. But we do keep pointing out, though, that Balding has got his strings so well forward this season. 1 in 5 of all his runners so far have won, and 65% of them are running to their best form. That's his RTF figure, not his figure. He won this race last year with a 16-1 shot. You're not going to get 16-1 for Calpana. Currently round about 5-4. And seemingly, if the market is anything to go by, he's only got French Master to beat. I doubt this will be run to suit the Gosden horse, though, because he seems to need further than 12 furlongs. And this will be a bit of a sprint at the end. With it being a small field, they're very unlikely to go 12 furlong pace. Calpana last season, it was mixing it with the likes of Calandigan, and he was a really good second in the 10 furlong Pretty Polly at the Curragh last June as well. So if they do go 10 furlong pace, Calpana's got the speed for that type of thing as well. Ended last season with a Group 1 win in the Champion Fillies and Mares. This Group 3 should be a complete walk in the park for him. I'm going for Calpana. Yeah, I didn't think so.
We've got 5 runners, so we're getting each way first and second. Okay. Now, unfortunately, it's been backed again. It drifted out and then backed in again, so it's not quite the price it was. West Wind Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Chris was right. Drifted from 5s out to 8s, now back into 11 to 2. So there's some money come back. You also mentioning Calandigan. He was beaten 3/4 of a length by Calandigan at Maiden. Less than a length at level weights by a horse rated 130. Okay, so let's have a look at the official ratings here. Calpana 120, but she has to give, what, £4 to West Wind Blows, who officially rated 117. So that puts West Wind Blows £1 best in, if you like.
Uh-huh.
And we all know that doesn't mean much. I'm not using that as much. Why on earth is he rated 117 if he was beaten less than a length by Calandigan, who was rated 130 before that race?
Maybe they don't believe the form.
If you met in the middle, 130, you'd say they're making 128, so meet in the middle makes him 123, 124, something
Yeah.
like that, which puts him, what, £6-7 clear of Calpana? It's too big a price. 11 to 2, too big. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I know they think a lot of West Wind Blows. Quick rise, that's never a bad thing. Could finish stone cold last. I'm very concerned by the fact it did drift all the way out to 8 to 1 before coming back into 11 to 2. But get a quarter of the odds. I'm going to get 11 to 8 for second, and I've still got a free win bet. That didn't work last week, ladies and gentlemen. In case anybody's tuning in new, I don't want to pretend that this is going to be a guaranteed gimme, because it's not. Again, the point is, of course, I'm trying to give you winners. That's the whole objective. But also try to discuss it as to why I think that price. Now, I don't think he should be rated 117 for being beaten less than a length by a horse who was rated 130 before the race. Probably gone up after that.
Yeah, probably did.
And a Japan Cup winner in the fastest time ever beats him 3/4 of a length, and he's rated close to a stone inferior.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they just don't believe the form.
Could be the case, and it could be that they're right and I'm wrong. But I'm going to take the risk. I think that he's officially the best horse in the race at these weights, and he's had a recent run anyway. So add in the fact that I think he's underrated, and you can hopefully see why, even if you disagree with me, that at that price he's an each-way bet. So small each-way bet on West Wind Blows 125 for me.
There you go.
On to the 2 o'clock. It's Newbury. I'm pretty certain we're going to disagree on this one as well, but off we go. Over to you.
There's 6 runners here. We're being spoiled now, aren't we?
No, what you're supposed to do is it's top class weekend racing.
I know.
Group races, decent prize money, and they can't get the horse. And I believe what's the latest going? Good, isn't it?
The thing is, now about, excuse me, 90% of the horses these days are handicappers.
Yeah.
And if you put a handicapper in one of these races and he gets within 3 or 4 lengths of some of these horses, they're never going to win a race ever again.
Yeah, true.
You might as well just retire them straight away. It's 8 to 1 bar 2 here. Golden Orbit and Sacred Ground. In 7 of the last 8 runnings, the winner has been front 2 on the tissue. You can buy yourself some money by the looks of it. Currently 6 to 4 and 3 to 1. Have a tenner on each. You make a profit whichever wins. Since it opened, the market has been saying our winner is Golden Orbit. For the purposes of the podcast, I'll put him up. It's all I can do with this type of race. I'm going to go for Golden Orbit. I think he will win it. Marcus says he will anyway.
Well, I think I haven't been smoking anything, just for some of my selections may suggest I have. Yeah, mile and quarter listed contest for lightly raced fillies, all about who's going to improve the most, basically. That's what it feels like to me. Each way again for me, even though there's only 6 runners, we still get first and second. Brian Meehan's Esna, for me. Highest rated of those with a mark. Not many of them have got a mark. Fourth to Jennifer Jane, the Pretty Polly Stakes over this trip at Newmarket. She's left with too much to do that day, as far as I was concerned, before staying on late after front 3 had flown. That was her first run from a 7-month break on ground that may have been too quick for her. So I'm willing to give her an excuse, if you like. She was a 2 1/4 length fourth to your old mate Diamond Necklace.
In the form, that is it.
She would have, if that form was repeated in the French 1,000 Guineas, she'd have been second.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
BS, because that's from 2 to 3 in a different race. But you see the line I'm taking. That form's been franked. The winner remains unbeaten. 17 to 2 was what I got earlier. She's now out to 9 to 1. I'll take some of that.
Yeah.
Ryan Moore booked to ride as well. After our conversation on Ryan Moore earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
9-1. If she can repeat her form behind Diamond Necklace in the Prix Marcel Boussac, then I cannot see why she should possibly be a 9-1 chance. So
The problem with these races for me is you look at it and you see the favourite has had one run in its life as a juvenile,
yeah,
been off the track 231 days. Lady Rosier, 226 days off the track, only ran twice, same yard as Golden Orbit. You've got Esner, who is the most exposed runner in the field.
yeah.
And then you've got a horse called Fractional running for William Haggis at 20-1. Raced twice, still a maiden. Which has improved over the winter? Which has gone backwards? Have they all improved? Have they all gone backwards?
Who knows?
It's why in my day job, when I first open up the race cards, anything that's got 3-year-olds binned, don't even look at them. I just don't even look at them. I like to know the form lines. I like to know everything about the horse as much as possible. If a horse hasn't had 6 runs, I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. The trainer probably hasn't even worked the horse out yet.
But in my defence, because I have to pick the races for the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. No, we
Ron
yeah.
is the
Handicaps.
sensible betting races, I suppose,
Oh, well, yeah.
with your ratings and your onwards and everything else that goes on. And these are what I've got left to pick through that you don't cover.
That's what we do. We discuss the better races.
Ah.
And the fact that they're full of 3-year-olds is neither here nor there. These are the better races. The prize money tells you that.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't. If one of these wins this weekend, I'll be delighted. To be honest with you, they're all
I'll
big
be
enough.
chuffed to bits.
They're all big enough prices. I can get away with claim to fame if they do.
Yeah. Well, we both really like the look of Bo Echo for the 2,000
We
guineas.
did. Yeah.
You went for it. I went for the horse to come second. I think we performed a minor miracle getting the forecast in that race.
3-year-olds, it's easy.
It's easy, innit?
Something like that. We move on to the group 1 for the day, the Locking Stake
Yeah.
5 now. Yeah, you can go first on this because I'm feeling particularly uninspired, but you can go.
Well, you are. I mean, this used to be dead easy to work out because there used to be some really good horses entering it. And between 2016 and 2023 inclusive, we had 5 winning favourites. 2 of them were odds on. But in 2024, we had a 22-1 winner. Last season was 17-2, and both were trained by Gosden. The Gosdens have actually been responsible for 3 of the last 5 winners, and they saddled tomorrow's favourite, only just, Damisus. He won his last 3 and proved he still got it when he hosed up in the Earl of Sefton, and that's a Group 3 in April. Now, are any of these truly Group 1 class? I know Notable Speech has won a Sussex Stakes, but he only beat a horse called Maldoom, who had won a Class 5 novice and a Class 2 on the all-weather. And Haggis has got shut of him since. That one now races in Bahrain for a guy called Michael Costa. He's 3rd favourite, this Notable Speech, and he couldn't win this last year when he finished 4th to the Gosden winner that won at 17-2 or 15-2 or whatever it was last year. It would not surprise me to see Zeus Olympios going off favourite. He opened 100-30 as opposed to the 3-1 of Damisus, who's actually been very easy to bet since the markers opened. Now, I've got the Burke horse in my 20 to follow list, and he ended that last season winning 3 out of 3. You look at his opening start this season, and he was beaten easily by a Godolphin runner called Opera Ballo. But then I read an article by William Buick before the season started, and he was saying which Godolphin horse you most looking forward to riding this season. And he was all over Opera Ballo like a bad rash. Now, I never said anything in the newsletter because I wasn't 100% sure of what was going on. But this Opera Ballo opened at 11-1 for that race in which he beat Zeus Olympios. And he was punted off the boards. I can't remember the price he won at, but it was a low single-figure price. And I'm thinking, if William Buick is right, and if Zeus Olympios has simply bumped into one, then I'm going to stay loyal to the Burke horse and put that up as my selection here. I think you possibly see him go off favourite. I'm going for Zeus Olympios, but with no confidence at all because I don't fancy any of them.
I think
What can you do?
there's precious little value around in this field as far as I can.
Oh, I know.
Notable Speech is the highest rated horse, but as you said, come unstuck last year. The
Yeah.
Lion in Winter was the talking horse, the 2-year-old, but he's yet to really prove he's up to this standard. But how do you write off Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore at the moment? You don't. Jonquil is a horse I've loved for what it feels like forever because I keep losing my money on him. Is he really? Is he really a Group 1 horse? I'd love him to be. I'd love him to be. Graffard's got one coming over. Anything's possible. Zeus Olympius was overweight. He was a couple of kilos over when he finished third, like a boxer. That's according to Carl Burke after the race anyway. So he thinks that he should be fitter now and ready to go. They still think a lot of him. Carl's a nice bloke and a decent trainer, no argument there. But the bad news for you is I'm also going for Zeus Olympius because I've already written that down with about as much confidence as you've got.
Well, this is it. I mean, just to go back to Graffard, by the way, he's the up and coming.
Yeah.
I'll try and dig it out, but about 3 years ago, I made mention in a newsletter, a trainer to follow in France is Francois-Henri Graffard. And one of our members has religiously backed every single runner that he's ran in Group 1 races ever since in France. And every night, for about the first 12 months, I got a delivery. Now, for the first 12 months, every time he saddled the winner, I'd get an email from this member.
Really?
I got 28-1 for that one. I got 16-1 for that one.
Wow.
But now you're looking at his results, and you're not going to get 28-1 or 16-1 for any of his runners. I mean, I'm looking at this Sarlon now, 16-1 into 10-1.
Yeah.
It's Graffard.
The Graffard training, Barcelona riding, is one of the best jockeys out there and probably belongs on our earlier list as well, to be fair. And decent horse. The only funny story I can think about Graffard is I was writing for a French publication and I got told off, as you do.
As you do.
By describing the Prix du Jockey Club as the French Derby.
I thought it was.
I got told off for that. So it's called the Prix du Jockey Club. Going in and out again. It's called the Prix du Jockey Club, and no one in France calls it the French Derby. So okay, so I apologised, and then about literally 2 minutes later on the TV, Graffard's going, "Yes, they think he would go for the French Derby."
Yeah.
Draw your own conclusions. It's Olympios for me with very, very little confidence. I wouldn't, it's one of those races where almost Cicero's Gift is a Group 1 winner and he's trading at a massive price.
40-1. But didn't he win his Group 1 at something like 100,000-1 or something stupid?
Yeah. It was a ridiculously big price. Can't remember. 100-1, I think, actually.
Yeah, it was something daft.
But that form's in the book, unlike some of them. So it's a wide open race. It should be entertaining, but it's one of those where almost any horse in there you could just go, oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
Whichever one wins it, how did I miss Ryan Winters wearing a hood for the
first? Out like a sore thumb. Yeah.
Well, let's say I'm
looking at the market now, and everything from 12-1 to 100-30 the favourites, everything has been shortening. Nobody can make their minds up about what is actually going to win it. I mean, how low now is the Lion in Winter going? They put cheek pieces on him. They dropped him back to a mile and going to send him sprinting. They're going to do this with it. They're going to do that with it.
Yeah. It's a really difficult one.
Surprise you if he came good?
No. What amuses me, though, for all you people who love bookmakers out there, with the exception of Notable Speech, who's drifted from an opening 4s out to 6s.
Yeah.
Demesis has shortened. Zeus Olympicus has shortened. As you say, Lion in Winter's shortened.
Yeah. More Thumbers, 12-1 into 10s.
I've shortened pretty much.
Farland, 16-1 into 10s. Yeah. Jonquil, 16-1 into 12-1. Your pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised whoever wins this. If Jonquil wins it, I may have to go and throw myself off a building because he's a horse I follow through thick and thin, and I believed last year that he had the
issues.
When you go back, by the way, to your Zeus Olympius, it was Field of Gold was in second ahead of him as well. So that's not bad form by any stretch.
No.
If he needed the run, as I'm hearing he did, not needed it, too strong a phrase, would improve for it.
Yeah.
Then he's got every chance tomorrow. And they do think he's up to this standard, but we'll have to wait and see when the race is run before we go.
We will.
No. Right, on to the 310 newbie, a sprint next.
Yeah.
This is the most intriguing race of the day for me. What do you think?
Well, the enigma that is Albert Einstein turns up in a listed race over 6 furlongs here. Doesn't he appear to you to have not trained on? He does to me. They expected him to be winning the 2,000 guineas. I remember we were talking early May before the guineas was even on the horizon. And we were saying that he's being touted as the Aidan O'Brien stable flying machine again. And we were both kind of poo-pooing it,
Yeah.
as you do. And we've been proven absolutely right. He's twice now a beaten favourite. Last time they threw a hood on. Tomorrow it's been taken off. Looks like they don't know what to do with the horse now. As I say, they've dropped him back, what was it, 6 furlongs tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah.
I would not be looking away from the front four on the tissue. 9 of the last 10 winners were. I couldn't back Albert Einstein, who's currently well punted 4-1 and 2-11 to 4 second favourite. So I'd be thinking one of Royal Fixation, Wise Approach, or Havana Hurricane. I've now got to drop Havana Hurricane because he's a double figure price. And 16 of the last 20 winners of this have been 11-2 or shorter. So I'd Dutch Royal Fixation and Wise Approach for a profit. But I'm going to go for Wise Approach as the podcast pick. A previous course and distance winner at this level last season. He then won the Group 1 Middle Park Stakes. He's a beaten favourite on seasonal debut. Has he trained on? Who knows? I'll back him place only because I simply don't know. I'm going to Dutch Royal Fixation and Wise Approach. I think Royal Fixation makes stable debut for Carl Berg.
Could be.
Did he move from Ed Walker, was it?
I'm too busy hearing on the screen, so yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to go for Wise Approach, place only.
Yeah.
Absolutely no confidence at all. He's drifted from 4-1 to 6-1.
Yeah, I think it's an intriguing race for exactly the reason. I'll let him go first. I don't know why I let him go first. I've never got anything left to talk about. Yeah, I mean, Albert Einstein. I've disappeared again. I'm still here. Oh, there I am.
There you are.
They spoke about him over the winter as the best horse they'd ever had. The one thing I didn't notice was in the earlier comments before he went for a trial, before the talk of the guineas disappeared because he didn't stay or whatever it may be, they all said, Brian said, he's the fastest horse I've ever trained. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he have Star Spangled Banner in his yard? That was a.
He did.
I've gone again. I'm back again. He was a pretty quick horse. Now,
He was.
I can't be two-faced and pretend that I haven't mentioned before that you have to take what Aidan says with a pinch of salt sometimes because
Just a bit. Yeah.
he's part of the Coolmore marketing machine. That's his job. That's what pays his bills. We all have to do it. So I don't begrudge him that. So I do take it with a pinch of salt. I can see that I can see Ryan Moore just being told, let him go. From the stalls opening, let him go. Just go. He'll stay a 7th furlong. He might not stay a mile, but he'll stay a 7th furlong. So therefore, you can go. I'm doing the okey cokey on my screen. I'm going in and out and in and out. But don't ask me about that. That's technology for you. Yeah, I think if Albert Einstein's as fast as Aidan says he is, and the fact they've aimed him here suggests he is, and the fact the money's down suggests he might be. I had hoped for a bigger price, but I'll settle for that for Albert Einstein. He's going to be my dodgy of dodgiest picks for a 6 furlong race. If he wins, I'll be going, I told you so. And if he finishes last, I'll also be going, I told you so. Because that's the beauty of doing this. And we move swiftly on to our one handicap of the day. Ron loves his handicaps to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, true, 3:45 at Newbury. It's a big field, isn't it?
It is, but it's all 3-year-olds.
Well,
just as with last weekend. The official ratings that, like we mentioned earlier on, I said we were going to be discussing a race where official ratings would come into it. What they achieve as juveniles appears to count for absolutely nothing. The highest rated horse in the field tomorrow is a horse called Bourbon Blues, rated 105, trades 25-1. The second highest rated horse in the race is the Aidan O'Brien trained Port of Spain. His first time, cheek pieces. Since the market opened, and I've not seen it since, he drifted from 9-2 out to 6-1. Our favourite is also wearing cheek pieces first time out. My Love is King, open 5-1, was 3-1 clear favourite when I last looked.
Non-runner.
You are kidding me, it's my pick.
Well, at least you're on. Sorry.
Well, when did they do that to me?
Sorry.
What I was going to say was, he's only raced twice on turf, second both times, and was officially £9 inferior to the 25-1 shot I mentioned earlier, Bourbon Blues. It's why I don't work with horses of this age group until after Royal Ascot, because I've got a set of criteria that I employ after Royal Ascot that means I can work with 3-year-olds. I'm not going to tell you what my criteria set is. Stats and trends tell me you need to be one of the front two on the tissue here. They've won 7 of the last 10 runnings and also the last 5. So it's blatantly obvious, isn't it? Or it was. My Love is King was going to win the race. But now I've got to just regroup. Let me just get back to my race cards. Tomorrow,
Well, what you do is you finish what you got, then I'll go through my waffle, and then you go,
45.
look,
The winner now is Port of Spain. Aidan O'Brien had drifted, now being supported again. That's because My Love is King has been taken out because he was well supported for the race. I've got to go with Port of Spain now. That's very reluctant, I've got to be honest with you. But I mean, if you look at he should win it. He should win it on official ratings. Ignore the fact it's handicap. I'll go with Port of Spain now. God, what a mess that was.
I'll go through my waffle while you calm down a bit. 5 winning jollies in the last decade give favourite backers plenty of hope.
Yeah.
Though I have to say, when I was starting to write this, I was struggling to work out who I thought might hit the market. Javarian's won 2 of the last 8 outings, so he will know, sort of late runnings even, so he knows the exact sort needed. As could go well looking at his hat trick, but he's got an added £7 for that, and I think that's going to be enough to bring his winning run to a halt. Sintra's interesting for Andrew Balding with Holly Doyle on board after getting off the mark at Ascot. He needs to improve, but he could do that. But I'm so much to Ron's disgust. My next line of sentences, but purely Port of Spain is the call. Bought for €130,000 as a yearling, the son of St Mark's Basilica is closely related to numerous winners, including Free Wind, who took the Group 2 Middleton Filly Stakes over this sort of trip at York in 2023.
Yeah.
He ran 6 times last year, won his maiden at Punchestown, rounded off, although he worked as never got anything challenging. He finished with a 5-length 7th in the Group 1 Criterium International at Saint-Cloud. Interestingly, though unlikely, he still holds entries for both the English and Irish derbies, and I would say that's 99% wishful thinking. But if he's anywhere near to group class, and a mark of 103 could be Charles.
Yeah. Should be.
His first-time cheat piece is possibly the key to him giving his very best. So apologies for duplicating your suggestion there. But
what can you do?
The difficulty with all these is Port of Spain the likeliest winner? Yes, he probably is.
Yeah.
Is he any value? No, he probably isn't, because I'm pretty certain if you looked historically at Aidan O'Brien horses in handicaps, you'd be living in the poorhouse now. Yeah, however well bred they are, the majority of them, I won't say the majority of them don't win. They're not priced sufficiently that there's enough winners to cover the losers and make yourself a profit. Because everyone goes,
No.
Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, I'll have a tenner on that. And that ends up as an 8-to-1 shot, ends up as a 4-to-1 shot, and that's enough to wipe your profit out at the end of the season. Yeah, Port of Spain for me as well, I'm afraid. At 90,
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go each way because it's that kind of day. So I'm going to go Port of Spain.
I can see him actually easing again, What I was just going to say was, I know I've put this Port of Spain up now, but now that My Love is King is out, everything is shortening.
Yeah.
You could see a new favourite by off time tomorrow. So what I would just do for that race is or wait till the very last minute and put your fiver on the favourite. Because that's the percentage call based on stats and trends.
Who knows till after the event?
Who knows?
Now, before we get on to something for the weekend, this is my chance for a bit of marketing.
Yeah, go for it.
HBF is a horse racing bettors forum. Anyone who's read Ron's emails will have seen these very kindly put some links in there for us and a bit of a chit chat as well. We're not after your money. We're not really even after your email address. What we're after is your opinion on racing subjects, gambling subjects, I suppose. There's a link on Ron's email. It's also available on look for UK HBF and then put horses in. I do. That's the way to find the website. Under news, there's a link to the survey that we're doing. One question to ask. One. All you have to do is answer that one question. That's literally putting 8 things in your order of preference. It won't take you 2 minutes to do it. Everyone who does it and does leave their email address, because otherwise how are we going to contact you, there's a chance to win a pair of tickets to an ARC meeting of your choice and a pair of tickets to a Jockey Club meeting of your choice. Brackets, subject to terms and conditions, because that's down to the Jockey Club and ARC as to which meetings you can and can't go to. But that's free to enter, and we're just after your opinions. In case anyone wonders why, we've spent the last 10 years, I think it's been going, trying to represent punters. And sometimes I wonder whether I'm putting my hand up to it, do I wander off to focus on the subjects that I think are important? But does that mean they're the subjects that you think are important? So it's very relevant that we do a survey and get as many responses as we can, so that we can be certain that we're aiming our efforts in the right direction, the directions that you want, not necessarily the directions that I want. So I've tried to do that. So I'm just being honest and making a joke of it. But without a response, how do we know what you care about? No, we don't.
This is true.
It's a simple enough thing to do. Have a look on Ron's email if you remember. Have a look on the UK HBF website under news. It's the top thing survey. Please, it will take you 2 minutes. You might win a ticket. And more importantly, in my opinion, we can make sure we do the right job.
Absolutely right.
Waffle and BS out the way. On to something for the weekend. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Well, it was going to be My Love is King, but I'm going to go now for Zeus Olympios.
Really?
Yeah, let's give that one. Let's throw the dice down that road. I do like the horse. I mean, when I was studying all my form lines and everything from the juveniles, I thought it's got to go in my list of 20 to follow. I'm not going to give up on it yet. We'll go for Zeus Olympios.
I think you've got a great chance, because I have to say that because I ticked him as well. But I do think it's a strangely competitive race that's not the easiest to solve.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're going to like my ways. I'm going with West Wind Blows in the 125.
Woo!
Very good. Was that your West Wind Blowing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go each way, because at the moment, as long as 5 runners stand their ground, we get first and second. If he gets beaten by the very short price favourite and we get 6-1, we're still going to make some money back. And if it goes down to 4 runners, obviously, I think do you still get second for 4 runners? No.
You might do on Betfair. They may play. I've never looked at a 4-runner race because I don't use them.
You never know whether something's going to be an on-run on the day. Have a check with your bookmaker anyway. Each way, if there's enough places for second. If there isn't, just go with a small win bet. Confidence, not high. But again, I keep looking at the thing I've got written on the screen there. How can the winner Calandra be rated 130 before that race? And yet we're rated a stone below. And yet they know all weights it.
It does read weird when you read the form line, doesn't it?
Doesn't make sense to me. And if you do add another £7 to meet in the middle, that puts him £8 better than Kalpana for these ones. So, and remembering Kalpana's a she, and yes, she's got to give weight to the colts. So, yeah, I've talked myself into it, if not anybody else. Right. I believe that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
I think it is a wrap. We've done an hour and a bit.
Dear, sorry to bore you, everybody. Open another beer or a glass of wine or whatever it is.
Andy's just reaching for a third one, I think, mate.
He's probably drowning in it by now if he's hitting it.
He's probably drowning in the stuff, yeah.
Right. Have a good weekend. I'm looking out. I've got clouds and sunshine. What you got there?
Same here.
Stay dry, enjoy your racing, never bet more than you can afford to lose, and we'll be back next week.
Yep, we will and all. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.